Victoria Carl. I'm a teacher at Bogan High School, and I'm here with you on your second day with me on our discussion about figurative language. So again, we are talking about SOL 6.5H, in which students will identify and analyze the author's use of figurative language in a text. But what we're going to focus on today in our objective is we're going to learn why authors use figurative language. We're going to go over those definitions of the 7 types of figurative language that we introduced yesterday. But today we're going to focus on idiom and onomatopoeia. It's a long word, onomatopoeia, and I've spelled it wrong every time I've tried to type it. But we're going to learn what they are and how to use them and why they're important. And all of the things that we're doing with figurative language, whether it's alliteration, which we talked about yesterday, which is when sounds repeat each other, the river rages, the crackling cracker. So whether it's alliteration or hyperbole, that was the exaggeration. Whether it's an idiom, which we're going to do today, metaphor, onomatopoeia, personification, or simile, all of these things of figurative language are here to make writing more interesting and explosive, because if we were reading something that was really boring and didn't have any figurative language, we'd all be asleep right away. So it's a way for an author to make things interesting. All right, so today we're going to talk about idioms. And an idiom is a phrase or an expression that has a figurative meaning very different from its literal meaning. So if this was literally happening, it would be very weird, but it has a different kind of meaning to it. So an example is like, it's raining cats or dogs. I've never actually seen it rain cats or dogs, but that's a saying that we have a lot. It's raining cats and dogs every time it's pouring outside. Or if you have to get on stage and like, oh, I have butterflies in my stomach. There are no butterflies in your stomach, but it is an idiom that we use regularly. All right, so we're going to look at this worksheet right now. Again, an idiom is a phrase that has 2 meanings, a literal meaning, like there are actual cats and dogs falling out of the sky, or it can also have a figurative or symbolic meaning. So we are going to circle the idioms in each of these. If I can get my finger up here. Okay, I felt like a fish out of water on my first day of school. What do you think is the idiom in there? Felt like a fish out of water. Good. My dad blew his stack when he saw my poor grades on my report card. Blew his stack, right? Is he a chimney? Is your father a chimney? I don't think so. All right, number 3. I had to call it a day after hurting my knee during basketball practice. I had to call it a day. I just gave you the answer to that one. Call it a day. That's a weird idiom. The literal meaning is just like, hey, I call this a day. Every day you can do that. Anyway, number 4, last night it was raining cats and dogs. We already know the answer to this one. Yep. Number 5, I drew a blank when I was trying to explain what I had seen. What is the idiom in that one? Drew a blank. You can't actually draw a blank. Well, I guess you can make a little line. That's the blank on a question. But it means like you couldn't think of what you wanted to think of. And the last one, when I tried to get into the good school, the process involved a lot of red tape. This is a true thing for a lot of adults. Things that you have to do involves a lot of red tape, which is an idiom for sure. Okay, because it's not literally covered in red tape. All right, so we're gonna erase all this stuff. But I think I hope you get it. It's just a saying that doesn't mean actually what it says. And if it did, that would be very, very strange. All right, so if you want to try to write a sentence where you use a wolf in sheep's clothing, what is the meaning behind that? It's usually somebody who's sneaky. So you could write a sentence about, I don't know, maybe you have a sneaky sibling, or maybe you have a sneaky pet that you could write a sentence about. Like, my cat, Wispy, is a wolf in sheep's clothing. She purrs all day, hunts all night. All right, number 8 is like, let the cat out of the bag, which is, what does that mean? in its figurative sense, it means like you maybe told a secret that you weren't supposed to have told. Surely you have an experience in your life that you could write that sentence. Or roll out the red carpet. And kind of put together all, make it all fancy. Like do everything that you possibly can. All right. So let's look and see what idioms you already know, because I bet you know hundreds of them. So just like make a check mark in your brain. Have you heard these before? A blessing in disguise. Something wonderful that you didn't think was going to be wonderful. A dime a dozen. Hey, baby, those cats are a dime a dozen. They're everywhere. When you get on the stage, they say break a leg, which is such a weird thing to tell somebody to do. What time do you hit the sack at night? I'm an early to bed kind of lady. Birds of a feather flock together means people who are similar, like to hang out together. Comparing apples to oranges, comparing different things. Oh, I love this one. Don't give up your day job. Happens every time I sing. Somebody comes up and says, hey, don't give up your day job. Every cloud has a silver lining, right? There's something good that comes out of everything. Get a taste of your own medicine. Yeah, karma, right? It's a piece of cake, no big deal. Super easy. But isn't that a funny idiom? Because if its literal expression is a piece of cake, yet we're saying like, hey, that's an easy thing. So if you want to write down any idioms that aren't here that you've heard before, you are welcome to do so. But we're going to move on to onomatopoeia. Look at that long word. It's super long. So many vowels in there. It's ridiculous. Anyway, it's words whose meanings are suggested by their sounds. They're super easy. They're super fun. And if you are a comic book fan, you are an onomatopoeia expert already, because these are the ones. Boom, splash, splat, clank, pop, zoom, buzz, crash, crack. Like those are onomatopoeias. Those are the ones that the sound gives part of the meaning to it, right? It's like the cracks. It cracks, but it makes that sound, so it's a clue to its meaning. All right, so let's do these together. We've got a couple onomatopoeias here. We got pop and sizzled and meowed, barked, whacked, screeched, clapped, chattering, knocked, fluttered, and zoomed. So we're gonna see if we can match these to the right sentence. Okay, the popcorn went blank in the microwave. You got it, it's pop. That's what popcorn does, it pops. The car blank around the corner, quickly around the corner. Did it sizzle? No. Did it screech or zoom? Ooh, that's a toughie. I think it's zoom. The students were blank in the classroom. What were they doing? They quacked. The students were quacked in the classroom. I think they were chattering. The delivery man, something out on our front door. What did he do? Did he sizzle? Did he meow? Did he screech? He knocked. He knocked on your front door. He didn't screech on your front door. The audience, what did they do at the end of the play? They clapped. The dog, what does the dog do? He barks at an intruder. The ducks quacked in the lake. The race car zoomed past one another. Cat was, what did the cat do? Meow when it was happy. And let's go down. The bacon sizzled on the frying pan. So you can see onomatopoeias are just like, they're super fun words. They sound like what they do. Anyway, so this week we have learned alliteration. That is when there are words put together that have the same sounds, right? River, rapid. We learned hyperbole, which is exaggerating thing, like, and now we've added idioms, which are sayings that we are used to, but what they mean is different than their actual words. And then we just learn onomatopoeias, which are crack, boom, buzzes. So we're working our way through. Tomorrow we're going to talk about personification, which is pretty cool. So I will see you then. I hope you have a great night and take care.